The huge alien ship hung in the sky over Seoul like a dark cloud. Jin Ho Kim fixed his tie and took a deep breath. As Earth's top diplomat, he had to meet the aliens first. A voice spoke in his ear. "Remember, Mr. Kim, stay calm and friendly," said the president. "The future of Earth depends on this meeting." Jin Ho nodded, though no one could see him. He was alone in the room, waiting. Well, not completely alone. "Bomb, you need to hide," Jin Ho whispered to the orange cat curled up on his desk. Bomb yawned and blinked her yellow eyes. "You're not supposed to be here." The cat ignored him and began to clean her paws. Jin Ho sighed. He had not planned to bring his pet to the most important meeting in human history, but Bomb had sneaked into his bag that morning. By the time he found her, it was too late to take her home. The wall in front of him lit up. The aliens were calling. Jin Ho straightened his back and tried to push Bomb under the desk. The cat refused to move. "Fine," Jin Ho muttered, "but stay quiet." The wall became a window showing a strange room. 3 tall figures stood there. They had gray skin, 4 arms, and no hair. Their eyes were large and black. The one in the middle wore a red cape. "Greetings, human," the alien in the cape said. Its voice was deep and smooth. "I am Overlord Krex of the Fire Empire. We have come to meet your kind." Jin Ho bowed. "Welcome to Earth, Overlord Krex. I am Jin Ho Kim, speaking for all humans. We are honored by your visit." Krex made a sound like metal scraping. Jin Ho realized it was a laugh. "Your planet is interesting," Krex said. "We have watched you for some time. You are not very advanced, but you may be useful to us." Jin Ho kept his face calm, but he did not like how Krex talked down to him. The alien acted like humans were children or pets. "We have much to learn from each other," Jin Ho said carefully. "Yes, we will teach you many things," Krex replied. The alien turned to say something to one of the others in a language Jin Ho could not understand. That's when Jin Ho noticed something moving next to Krex. At first, he thought it was a shadow. Then it stepped forward. It looked like a dog, but wrong. It was bigger than any dog on Earth, with 6 legs and no fur. Its skin was black and shiny like oil. Its head had no eyes that Jin Ho could see, just a wide mouth full of teeth that seemed too big for its face. "Ah, you notice my hound," Krex said, placing one hand on the creature's head. "This is Vex, my loyal pet and guard. All Fire nobles keep hounds. They are bred for war and protection." The hound opened its mouth and made a noise like tearing metal. Its teeth gleamed. Suddenly, Bomb jumped onto the desk. The cat's back arched and her fur stood up. She hissed at the screen. "What is that small creature?" Krex asked, leaning closer to the screen. Jin Ho's face turned red. "I apologize, Overlord. This is just a cat, a common Earth pet. She was not supposed to be here." Krex stared at Bomb. The hound also turned its head toward the cat. Though it had no visible eyes, Jin Ho felt sure it was looking at Bomb. "Interesting," Krex said slowly. "It seems so soft, so weak." The alien smiled, showing teeth that looked like small knives. "Like humans." Bomb hissed again, louder. Her tail swished back and forth. "We will meet in person tomorrow," Krex said, ignoring the cat now. "We will land our ship in the field your leaders have prepared. Be ready, human." The screen went dark. Jin Ho let out a long breath and picked up Bomb, who was still staring at the wall. "That went well," he said sarcastically. "And you were no help." Bomb turned her yellow eyes to him. For a moment, Jin Ho thought they looked different, sharper, more aware. But then she mewed softly, and the moment passed. Jin Ho did not know it yet, but Bomb had just met her enemy. And she was ready for war. 1 month after first contact, the Fire had built their embassy in Seoul. It was a tall black building with no windows. Guards stood at every door. Most people stayed away from it. Jin-Ho visited the embassy 3 times a week. Each time, he saw more of the alien hounds. They walked beside their fire masters, their 6 legs moving in perfect rhythm. Their black skin seemed to drink the light around them. "You don't like those creatures, do you?" asked Du Yunli. She was a scientist working with Jin-Ho on the alien talks. They sat in his office, looking at pictures of the hounds on her tablet. "No," Jin-Ho said. "There's something wrong about them. Why bring war animals to a peace meeting?" Du Yun nodded. "I've been studying them. Look at this." She showed him a video of a hound walking through a metal detector. The machine did nothing. "Their skin blocks our scans. We can't see what's inside them." Jin-Ho frowned. "Have you told the military?" "Yes. Commander Park is worried too." Bomb jumped on the desk and walked across the tablet. The cat had been acting strange since the fire arrived. She slept less and watched the windows at night. Sometimes Jin-Ho heard her making angry sounds at nothing. "Your cat doesn't like them either," Du Yun said with a small smile. "Bomb is a good judge of character," Jin-Ho replied. He scratched behind her ears, but Bomb kept staring at the pictures of the hounds. Inside the Fire Embassy, Overlord Krex was meeting with his top officers. They spoke in their own language, which sounded like stones grinding together. "The humans are weak," said Krex. "Their weapons are simple. Their bodies break easily. This planet will be ours soon." A tall Vyre with battle scars on her face spoke up. "But their numbers are great. There are billions of them." Krex waved one of his 4 hands. "Numbers mean nothing. One hound can kill 100 humans, and we have thousands of hounds." He pressed a button on the wall. A door slid open, and his personal hound Vex walked in. Behind it came something new, a smaller version of Vex, but with spikes along its back. "The new attack hounds are ready," Krex said. "We made them using the resources from this planet. They are stronger than our regular hounds. Their teeth can cut through human armor like paper." The officers nodded, impressed. The new hound opened its mouth, showing rows of metal teeth. "When do we attack?" asked the scared officer. "Soon," Krex said. "First, we must learn all their weaknesses, and we must study their animals." He showed them pictures of Earth's creatures: lions, wolves, bears, and smaller animals. "These might cause problems for our hounds," he explained. "We must know how to kill them first." The picture on the screen changed to show a house cat. The officers laughed. "This," one said, "this tiny thing is no threat." Krex was not laughing. "Do not judge by size alone. These cats are everywhere in human homes. They watch us. I don't like their eyes." As if hearing him, Vex growled at the picture of the cat. That night, Jin-Ho woke up to a strange sound. He turned on the light and found Bomb sitting at the window. She was making a low rumbling noise. Not quite a purr, not quite a growl. Jin-Ho got up and looked outside. In the distance, he could see the black shape of the Fire Embassy. A green light flashed at the top of the building. "What are they doing in there, Bomb?" he whispered. The cat turned to look at him. Again, he had that strange feeling that Bomb understood more than a normal cat should. Her yellow eyes seemed to glow in the dark. Outside, all across the city, cats sat at windows, watching the green light pulse. Something was changing. Something was waking up. And in a lab on the other side of Seoul, Du Yunli made an important discovery. She stared at her computer, shocked by what she saw. "This can't be right," she said to herself. On her screen was a DNA analysis of a house cat, alongside readings from the firehounds. There was a pattern that connected them, something ancient and hidden. She reached for her phone to call Jin-Ho. The cats of Earth were not what they seemed. Du Yun's lab was quiet at midnight. She had not left for 2 days. Her eyes were red from looking at screens for too long. "You need to see this now," she said when Jin-Ho arrived. It couldn't wait until morning. Jin-Ho rubbed his tired eyes. He had brought Bomb with him. The cat jumped onto the lab table and sat very still, watching them. "What did you find?" Jin-Ho asked. Du Yun pointed to her computer. "I compared the DNA of the fire hounds to earth animals. They changed these hounds to be weapons. But look at this." She showed him a new screen. "This is cat DNA. Normal house cat DNA." Jin-Ho looked but didn't understand the colorful patterns. "What am I seeing?" "Cats aren't just pets, Jin-Ho. Their DNA has parts that are sleeping, like switches that were turned off long ago." Bom's ears turned toward them, as if she was listening. Du Yun continued. "Earth was peaceful for cats. They became small hunters, then pets. But these sleeping parts in their DNA, their defense systems, strong ones." Jin-Ho looked at Bom with new eyes. "Defense against what?" "Invaders," Du Yun said simply. "Space invaders." At the military base outside the city, Commander Hai-Jin Park watched the test with tight lips. The Vire had asked to show the strength of their hounds as a sign of friendship. She didn't believe them for a second. "Begin the test," she ordered. A soldier in full battle armor stood in a protected area. The armor was the strongest they had. It could stop bullets and knives. A glass wall separated the soldier from a single Vire hound. When the glass lifted, the hound didn't move at first. It just stood there on its 6 legs. Then it jumped. It happened so fast that Hai-Jin barely saw it. The hound's mouth opened wider than seemed possible. Its teeth glowed blue for a second. Then it bit through the soldier's armor like it was paper. The soldier screamed and fell back. He wasn't hurt. The hound had been ordered to stop after breaking the armor. But everyone watching knew what it meant. Their best protection was nothing to these animals. The Vire ambassador, a tall alien named Mech, made that scraping laugh sound. "Very impressive, yes. Our hounds are the best guards in the galaxy. Nothing can stand against them." Hai-Jin kept her face blank. "Very impressive," she agreed. But inside, she was already planning. She pulled out her phone and sent a message to Jin-Ho. "Asterisk, we have a problem. Their pets can tear through our best armor. Be careful, asterisk." Jin-Ho read the message with a cold feeling in his stomach. He looked at Du Yun. "The commander says the hounds can tear through our armor." Du Yun nodded. "I expected that, but I found something else." She picked up Bom gently. "I've been testing cat DNA from all over the world. Last night, I found changes happening." "Changes? What kind of changes?" "The sleeping parts are waking up. Slowly, but it's happening. Something about the Vire being here is turning on those old defenses in cats." Bom purred loudly, pushing her head against Du Yun's hand. "Can you speed it up?" Jin-Ho asked. "If the Vire attack." "I'm trying," Du Yun said. "But we need time." Jin-Ho's phone rang. It was the president. "Mr. Kim," the president said, his voice shaking. "The Vire just took over 3 of our satellites. Commander Park says they're positioning for an attack. We need you at the embassy now. Try to talk to them." Jin-Ho looked at Bom. The cat stared back, her yellow eyes now flecked with gold. "I'll go," he told the president. "But first, I need to stop at home." After hanging up, he turned to Du Yun. "Keep working. I think we're running out of time." Du Yun nodded. "What are you going to do?" Jin-Ho picked up Bom. "I'm taking my cat to meet the aliens again. I have a feeling she needs to be there." As they left the lab, neither of them noticed Bom's claws extending just a bit longer than a normal cat's should be, or the way her pupils had changed shape, becoming less round and more like slits of gold fire. The change had begun. Jin-Ho never made it to the Vire embassy. Halfway there, the sky filled with ships. They were black and shaped like spears, falling from the clouds by the hundreds. His driver stopped the car. "Sir, look." All around them, people ran in fear. The screams mixed with a new sound, a high, metal scream that hurt the ears. The Vire ships were talking to each other. Jin Ho's phone rang. It was Hai Jin. "It's happening," the commander said. "The Vir are attacking everywhere. Get to safety now." Jin Ho looked at Bomb in her carrier. The cat's eyes were fully gold now, glowing in the dark space. "Where should I go?" he asked. "The old bunker under your office building," Hai Jin said. "We're sending people there. Hurry." The call ended. Jin Ho told his driver to turn around, but it was too late. A Vir ship landed on the road in front of them. The sides opened, and hounds poured out, dozens of them, running on their 6 legs toward the car. "Drive the other way," Jin Ho shouted. The driver spun the car around, but another ship landed behind them. They were trapped. "We have to run," Jin Ho said. He grabbed Bomb's carrier and his emergency bag. "Into that building." They ran into a small shop. People were hiding inside, crying and afraid. Jin Ho looked out the window. The hounds moved through the streets, their teeth glowing blue. When they found people, they tore through their clothes and skin with those terrible teeth. Jin Ho opened Bomb's carrier. "Stay close to me," he whispered to the cat, not sure why he was talking to her like she could understand. But Bomb seemed different now. Her fur had a gold shine to it, and she moved with strange purpose. At the military base, Hai Jin was trying to organize a defense. It wasn't going well. The regular bullets did nothing to the hounds. Their black skin stopped everything. "Use the heavy weapons," she ordered. The soldiers brought out rocket launchers. These worked better, but there were too many hounds. A soldier ran up to her. "Commander, we're getting strange reports from around the world." "What reports?" she asked, ducking as a piece of metal flew over her head. "It's about cats, ma'am. House cats. They're attacking the aliens." Hai Jin stared at him. "Cats? Are you serious?" "Yes, ma'am. People are sending videos. Cats are going after the hounds, and sometimes winning." Hai Jin didn't have time to think about this craziness. A new wave of ships was landing. "Get me Du Yun Lee on the phone," she ordered. "Now." Du Yun was hiding under her desk when the call came. Her lab was dark. The power was out, but her phone still worked. "Commander Park," she answered. "Tell me about the cats," Hai Jin said. "Is it true? Are they fighting back?" Du Yun looked at her computer screen. Before the power went out, she had been watching videos from around the world. Cats changing, growing, fighting. "Yes," she said. "It's happening faster than I thought. The Vir presence is turning on their defenses. Cats were made for this, Commander. They were made to protect Earth." "Made by who?" Hai Jin asked. "I don't know," Du Yun admitted, "but it was a long time ago. The first time aliens came to Earth, maybe." A crash made her jump. Something was in the lab with her. Du Yun held her breath. 6 legs walked past her desk. A hound. It sniffed the air, looking for her. "I have to go," she whispered into the phone. "There's a hound." The desk flew across the room as the hound pushed it with its head. Du Yun screamed and covered her face. The hound opened its mouth, teeth glowing blue. But then something small and fast hit the hound from behind. Another cat. Not Bomb, but a gray lab cat that had always slept on the windowsill. Its eyes were gold now, and its claws were long and sharp. The cat's teeth found the spot where the hound's head met its body. The hound made a horrible sound and tried to shake the cat off. But the cat held on. Du Yun ran to a cabinet and pulled out a metal bar. She hit the hound as hard as she could. Together, she and the cat fought for their lives. All over the world, the same scene played out. Cats and humans, fighting side by side against the invaders. Jin Ho and the other people in the shop heard the hounds getting closer. Their 6-legged steps made a tapping sound on the street outside. "We need to get to the back room," Jin Ho whispered, away from the windows. An old man shook his head. "They can smell us. Those things hunt by smell." Bomb stood by the door, her back arched. Her tail had grown thicker, and her fur now had gold streaks running through it. When she opened her mouth, Jin-Ho saw that her teeth were longer and sharper. The door burst open. A hound stood there, its black skin drinking in the light. It was bigger than the ones Jin-Ho had seen before, with spikes along its back. This was one of the new attack hounds Krex had made. "Don't move," Jin-Ho said to the others. But it was too late. A woman screamed, and the hound charged. It moved so fast that Jin-Ho barely saw it. The hound jumped over the counter, its mouth open wide to show its blue glowing teeth. But something else moved even faster. Bomb shot across the room like a golden bullet. She was a blur in the air. She hit the hound in the side with such force that both animals crashed into the wall. The hound made a sound like metal being torn. Jin-Ho couldn't believe what he was seeing. Bomb was fighting the alien hound, and she was winning. The cat was smaller, but faster. Her claws dug into the hound's black skin, finding weak spots that humans couldn't see. The hound tried to bite her, but Bomb was never where its teeth closed. "Run," Jin-Ho shouted to the others. "While it's distracted." They ran toward the back door. Jin-Ho stayed, watching the fight. He couldn't leave Bomb. The hound finally caught Bomb with one of its legs, throwing her against the wall. She hit hard but landed on her feet. The hound charged again. This time, Bomb waited until the last second. When the hound's mouth opened to bite, Bomb jumped straight into its path. Jin-Ho's heart stopped. But instead of being caught in those terrible teeth, Bomb landed on the hound's head. Without hesitation, she dug her claws into the spots where eyes should be. The hound had no visible eyes, but it felt the pain. It screamed and shook its head wildly. Bomb held on. Her claws dug deeper. Suddenly, there was a cracking sound. The hound's head split open where Bomb's claws had hit. Light poured out, not blue this time, but green. The hound's real eyes were inside its head, protected by the black skin. But Bomb had found them. The hound fell to the floor, the green light fading from its broken head. Bomb stood over it, her fur covered in black oil that must be the hound's blood. She turned to look at Jin-Ho. Her golden eyes seemed to say, "I told you so." In her command center, Hai-Jin was watching videos from around the world. Cats of all kinds, house cats, street cats, even zoo cats like lions and tigers, were fighting the alien hounds. Some won, some lost, but they were all fighting. "It's like they know what to do," a soldier said in wonder. Hai-Jin's phone rang. It was Du Yun. "I made it to the backup lab," the scientist said. "The lab cat saved me. Now I'm studying him. You won't believe what I found." "Try me," Hai-Jin said. She had seen too much today to be surprised. "The cats have a communication network," Du Yun explained. "It's not sound or smell. It's something like telepathy. They're sharing information about how to fight the hounds. Every time one cat learns a weakness, they all know it." "Can we use this?" Hai-Jin asked. "Military thinking, always looking for an edge." "I think so," Du Yun said. "But we need to find Jin-Ho and Bomb. His cat seems to be leading the others somehow." In the Vire command ship high above Earth, Overlord Krex watched the battle reports with growing anger. "How are these small creatures defeating our hounds?" he demanded. No one answered. No one knew. Krex slammed his fist down. "Find all the cats. Kill them all. Then the humans will have no defense." His officers hurried to obey. But Krex was worried. For the first time, he wondered if taking Earth would be easy after all. His personal hound, Vex, growled beside him. It had seen the videos too. It wanted to fight these golden-eyed cats itself. "Soon," Krex told it. "Soon you will have your chance." Jin-Ho and Bomb moved through the broken city as night fell. The streets were empty except for wrecked cars and broken glass. Sometimes they heard the six-legged steps of hounds searching for people, and they would hide until the danger passed. Bomb led the way. She was different now, bigger than a normal house cat, with golden stripes that seemed to glow in the dark. When she moved, she was silent as a shadow. "Where are we going?" Jin-Ho whispered. He didn't expect an answer, but Bomb looked back at him with her golden eyes as if to say, "Trust me." They reached the edge of the city as the moon rose. In the distance, they could see fires burning where the fire ships had landed. The air smelled like metal and smoke. A sound made them freeze. Around the corner came 3 hounds, moving in perfect step with each other. These were the biggest ones Jin-Ho had seen yet, with double rows of spikes down their backs. Jin-Ho and Bomb ducked behind a car. The hounds hadn't seen them yet. Jin-Ho held his breath. Then his phone rang. The sound was like a bomb in the quiet night. The hounds turned their heads toward it, their teeth beginning to glow blue. "Run," Jin-Ho shouted, no longer caring about being quiet. He and Bomb sprinted away as the hounds charged after them. They ran down an alley, but it was a dead end. Jin-Ho turned, his back against the wall. The hounds blocked the only way out. "Bomb, hide," Jin-Ho said. But Bomb didn't hide. She stepped in front of Jin-Ho, her back arched and her fur standing up. She looked tiny compared to the 3 massive hounds. The first hound leaped forward. Bomb jumped to meet it. What happened next was so fast that Jin-Ho could barely follow it. Bomb seemed to split into 3 golden blurs. She was moving so quickly that she looked like 3 cats instead of 1. She attacked all 3 hounds at once. Her claws found the weak spots she had discovered in her first fight. The hounds howled in pain, trying to catch her with their teeth. One of the hounds managed to grab Bomb in its mouth. Jin-Ho cried out, sure that his cat was dead. But Bomb's claws ripped through the hound's mouth from the inside. The hound dropped her, black blood pouring from its wounds. A second hound caught Bomb with its leg, throwing her against the wall. Jin-Ho heard a crack and feared Bomb was hurt badly. She lay still for a moment. The third hound moved toward Jin-Ho, its teeth glowing brighter. Jin-Ho picked up a metal pipe from the ground, but he knew it wouldn't help much against those teeth that could cut through armor. Just as the hound jumped, something hit it from above. More cats, dozens of them, dropping from the rooftops and window ledges around them. Street cats, house cats, all with the same golden eyes as Bomb. Bomb stood up, shaking off the hit. She made a sound that was not a normal cat's meow. It was deeper, like a small lion's roar. The other cats answered her. Together, they attacked the hounds in perfect teamwork. They knew exactly where to strike. Some cats fell, caught by the hound's teeth or legs, but there were too many for the hounds to fight off. Jin-Ho's phone rang again. This time he answered it. "Jin-Ho, it's Du-Yun. Where are you?" "In the old factory district," he said, watching the cats fight. "With Bomb and other cats." "Stay there," Du-Yun said. "Commander Park is sending a team to get you. We need Bomb at the base." "Why Bomb?" Jin-Ho asked, though he already knew the answer. Bomb was special, even among the changed cats. "She's the alpha," Du-Yun said. "The other cats follow her. She's the key to organizing them all." After the battle, Bomb came to Jin-Ho, her fur covered in black alien blood. The other cats gathered around her. They looked to her like soldiers waiting for orders. "Help is coming," Jin-Ho told Bomb, feeling only a little foolish for talking to a cat. "We're going to fight back." Bomb's eyes seemed to shine with understanding. The war had just begun. The military base was now a fortress. Soldiers moved quickly, carrying weapons and supplies. In the middle of this activity, Bomb sat calmly on a table in Du-Yun's new lab, watching everyone with her golden eyes. "Amazing," Du-Yun said as she studied the readings on her screen. "Bomb's body has changed in ways I never thought possible." Jin-Ho stood nearby, cleaned up and wearing fresh clothes. "How is she doing this?" "The sleeping parts of her DNA are fully awake now," Du-Yun explained. "Her muscles are 5 times stronger. Her bones are harder than normal cat bones. And her brain. Du Yun pointed to a brain scan on her screen. Her brain is using parts that normal cats don't use. Commander Haijin walked in, looking tired but determined. Tell me you have good news, Dr. Li. Du Yun nodded. I think I found something big. The cats aren't just good fighters. They have another ability we haven't seen yet. She picked up a small piece of wire technology, part of a broken hound's leg. When she held it near Bomb, the cat's eyes focused on it. The piece of metal suddenly sparked and went dark. They can shut down wire tech, Du Yun said with excitement. It's some kind of energy field they can make when they focus. Haijin's eyes widened. Can they disable the ships too? Maybe, but they would need to get close. And there's something else. Du Yun looked worried now. The Vire know about this. They're sending out their best hounds to kill cats specifically. They know the cats are the real threat. Jin Ho stroked Bomb's head. So what's our plan? Haijin spread out a map on the table. The main Vire ship is here, she said, pointing to a spot in the center of the city. It's Overlord Krex's command ship. If we can take it down, the other Vire might retreat. But how do we get to it? Jin Ho asked. It's surrounded by hounds and Vire soldiers. Bomb made a small sound and jumped onto the map. She put her paw on a spot showing old tunnels under the city. The human stared at her. Is she reading the map? Haijin asked in shock. Jin Ho nodded slowly. I think she is, and she's suggesting a way in. That night, Jin Ho found himself crawling through dark, wet tunnels deep under the city. Bomb led the way, her golden fur giving off enough light to see by. Behind Jin Ho came Du Yun and a small team of soldiers. Are you sure about this? Du Yun whispered. No, Jin Ho admitted, but Bomb is. The tunnels led them right under the center of the city. They could feel the ground shake above them as Vire ships landed and took off. Finally, Bomb stopped at a point where the tunnel roof had partly collapsed. Through the hole, they could see the bottom of the main Vire ship. Now what? A soldier asked. Bomb looked at Jin Ho and then at the hole. Her meaning was clear. She wants us to go up, Jin Ho said, into the ship. The soldiers helped them climb through the hole. They found themselves in a dark space under the ship. A hatch above them led inside. Careful, Haijin said through their radio. Our scouts say Krex keeps his personal hound with him at all times. Jin Ho looked at Bomb. Are you ready for this? Bomb's eyes seemed to glow brighter in answer. They climbed through the hatch into the alien ship. The inside was strange, all black metal with green lights. They moved quietly, following Bomb as she seemed to know exactly where to go. They turned a corner and froze. There, in a large room filled with screens and controls, stood Overlord Krex, and beside him was the biggest hound they had seen yet, Vex, his personal guard. The huge hound sensed them first. It turned its head toward the humans, its teeth beginning to glow blue. But then it saw Bomb, and the glow changed to bright red. It recognized her as the leader of the cats. Well, said Krex, turning to face them, the little soft creatures have found their way here. He smiled with his knife-like teeth. Good. Now I can end this problem myself. Vex charged forward, its 6 legs moving so fast, they were a blur. Bomb jumped to meet it, her golden fur shining like fire. The battle that would decide Earth's fate had begun. Bomb and Vex crashed together in the middle of the room. The sound was like thunder. The force of their impact knocked Jin Ho and Du Yun to the floor. Vex was much bigger than any hound they had seen before. Its teeth glowed bright red, and spikes covered its entire body. But Bomb was faster. She moved like golden lightning around the hound, striking and jumping away before Vex could catch her. Kill them all, Krex shouted to his guards. Vire soldiers ran into the room, firing weapons that shot blue light. The human soldiers fired back. Jin Ho pulled Du Yun behind a metal column for cover. We need to shut down the ship, Du Yun said. If Bomb can get to the main controls, She might be able to disable everything. Jin-Ho looked at the battle. Bomb and Vex were locked in fierce combat, rolling across the floor. He couldn't ask her to break away now. "Maybe we don't need Bomb," Jin-Ho said. He pulled out his phone and called Hai-Jin. "Commander, we need more cats in the ship now." On the other end, Hai-Jin understood immediately. On their way. Minutes later, dozens of cats poured through the hatch. Their golden eyes lit up the dark ship. They attacked the fire soldiers, who screamed as tiny claws found weak spots in their armor. Meanwhile, Bomb and Vex continued their fierce battle. Vex caught Bomb with one of its legs and threw her against the wall. The wall dented from the force. Bomb fell to the floor but got up quickly. Vex charged at her, its mouth open wide. This time, Bomb didn't move away. Instead, she ran straight at the Hound. At the last second, she jumped over its head and landed on its back. Her claws dug into Vex's black skin, finding spots that didn't seem special to human eyes. But they must have been important, because Vex howled in pain. It tried to shake Bomb off, but she held on. Krex watched with growing fear. "No," he shouted. "Vex, kill that small pest." Vex rolled on its back, trying to crush Bomb. But she was too quick. She jumped away and then attacked again, this time going for the Hound's head. Jin-Ho and Du-Yun had reached the main controls. The cats were keeping the fire soldiers busy. Du-Yun tried to understand the alien technology. "I can't read any of this," she said in frustration. "Look," Jin-Ho pointed to a group of cats who had gathered around a large green crystal in the center of the room. Their eyes were all focused on it, and the crystal was starting to flicker. "They're shutting it down," Du-Yun said with excitement. "The cats are disabling the ship's power." The lights in the ship began to dim. Krex noticed and turned in rage. "Stop them," he ordered, but it was too late. More cats were focusing on different parts of the ship, and systems were failing everywhere. In the center of the room, Bomb and Vex had reached the final stage of their battle. Vex was wounded but still dangerous. It lunged at Bomb one more time, its teeth aiming for her head. Bomb waited until the last possible moment. Then she jumped straight up and landed on Vex's head. Her claws struck with perfect aim, digging into the same spots where she had found the first Hound's hidden eyes. Vex's head began to crack open, but instead of green light like the other Hounds, red light poured out. Vex was different, stronger, more advanced. It tried one last attack, its teeth catching the armor of a fallen human soldier. The teeth cut through the metal like paper. But it didn't save Vex. Bomb's claws dug deeper. With a final, powerful pull, she tore out the glowing red orbs that were Vex's real eyes. The huge Hound collapsed to the floor. The red light faded from its broken head. Bomb stood over it, the glowing eyes still clutched in her claws. Then she dropped them and crushed them under her paw. Krex stared in horror. His best weapon was dead. His ship was failing, and now the golden-eyed cat was looking directly at him. The tide of the war had turned. 6 months after the battle on the command ship, Earth was healing. The fire ships were gone from the sky. Buildings were being fixed. People were coming back to the cities. Jin-Ho stood at the window of the new Earth Defense Center, watching workers rebuild the street below. Beside him on the windowsill sat Bomb, looking much like a normal cat again. Her fur was still orange with golden streaks, but she was smaller now, and her eyes had returned to their yellow color with just flecks of gold. "The last fire ship left our solar system yesterday," said Hai-Jin, walking into the room. "Our new space sensors tracked them all the way out." "Do we think they'll come back?" Jin-Ho asked. Hai-Jin shook her head. "Not likely. After what happened to Krex, the other fire leaders seem happy to pretend Earth doesn't exist." Jin-Ho smiled, remembering how Krex had begged for mercy as Bomb approached him after defeating Vex. The mighty overlord had never imagined he would fear a small Earth cat. "How are the cats doing?" Hai-Jin asked, gently petting Bomb's head. The cat allowed it, purring softly. Mostly back to normal, Jinho said. Du Yun says their special abilities are sleeping again. They only wake up when needed. Du Yun entered the room carrying a tablet. I've been studying the old cave paintings we found in Egypt, she said. They show cats fighting strange six-legged creatures that look a lot like the Hounds. So they've been here before, Jinho said. Many times, I think, Du Yun nodded. And each time, the cats protected us. But we forgot. We thought cats were just pets. Not anymore, Hai-Jin said. The new Feline Defense Initiative had become the most important part of Earth's military. Every country now had special units that worked with cats. They trained together, lived together, and stood ready in case the Vir or any other aliens returned. Jinho's phone rang. It was the president. Mr. Kim, it's time, the president said. The ship is ready. Jinho looked at Bomb. We're on our way. The new ship was nothing like the Vir ships. It was white and blue, built by humans using some of the alien technology they had captured. It stood on the landing pad, gleaming in the sun. A crowd had gathered to see it off. Jinho walked toward the ship, wearing his new uniform. Bomb walked beside him, her head held high. Ambassador Kim, reporters called. How does it feel to be Earth's first representative to the stars? Jinho smiled. It's an honor, he said, but I'm not going alone. He looked down at Bomb. After the war, signals had come from deep space. Other alien races had been watching. They wanted to talk to the humans and their cat protectors. Jinho and Bomb had been chosen to go. At the ship's door, Du Yun waited to say goodbye. We've learned so much, she said, but we still don't know who made the cats this way, who gave them their special abilities. Maybe we'll find out there, Jinho said, looking up at the sky. Be careful, Du Yun said, and keep Bomb close. Always, Jinho promised. Inside the ship, Jinho took his seat at the control panel. Bomb jumped into his lap and curled up, looking like an ordinary pet again. But Jinho knew better now. He knew what she really was, Earth's guardian, born to protect humans from the dangers of space. The ship's engines started. On screens around them, Jinho could see the stars waiting. So many worlds to visit, so many new aliens to meet. Ready, Bomb? He asked. The cat looked up at him with eyes that suddenly flashed gold again. She seemed to smile, as if to say, I've been ready for thousands of years. As the ship lifted off, Jinho thought about how everything had changed. Humans were no longer alone in the universe. They were no longer helpless. They had friends they never knew about, protectors who had been with them all along. And if trouble came again, the cats of Earth would be ready. Their soft paws hid sharp claws. Their gentle purrs masked fierce hearts. The stars grew closer. Bomb purred on Jinho's lap. The journey had just begun. The end.